Hello from Myrtle Beach. Today we are going to tell you what it's really like in Myrtle Beach in the month of August. We're going to share with you weather, crowds, events, and more. Hi, I'm Carmen. If you're new here, we cover everything Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area. And if you're a return viewer, welcome back. We are so glad to have you with us. You can tell it is a beautiful day here today. It's a very hot day here today. Stay tuned to the end of this video because we are going to tell you all the events and happenings, and there's some pretty cool and unique stuff happening in the month of August at Myrtle Beach this year. And these events, if you're watching in a future year, will obviously vary year to year, but they tend to have similar events each year at certain times of the year. So first of all, let's start with crowds. Crowds in August, believe it or not, even though it's still true summer, are starting to, not be as busy. It's not as busy as June and July. It's not as busy as Memorial Day weekend for sure. And even though Labor Day weekend is technically in September, I'll give it an honorable mention. That's another time that's not that crowded that you would think would be, but it's not. I think a lot of families are dealing with their kids going back to school. Same is true for August. A lot of schools now start in mid-August. And so the first couple of weeks in August might be a little bit crowded. You're definitely going to have some of those summer crowds still. But if you come the second half of August, I'm not saying there won't be any crowds. There will definitely still be a lot of people here because the weather is fantastic, but it won't be the same, like I said, as July, June, or Memorial Day. It's a little bit better that time of the year. And also we give these crowd tips all the time, but the early bird gets the worm. If you go early for, food, you won't have to wait as long. If you go lunch instead of dinner, you won't have to wait as long. They do truly have early bird specials a lot of times at dinner, so you can save some money by going early if you prefer to go at dinner. And the same thing goes for all the attractions. If you get there right when they open, you're gonna wait less. If you play putt-putt in the morning instead of in the evening, you're gonna wait less. Same thing for everything with crowds. And that's true year-round. It's just across the board a true statement. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Let's talk about the weather. The weather in August is kind of variable, and we're in hurricane season for sure, and we're starting to get into what I consider the heart of hurricane season for this area. Hurricane season technically starts in June and runs to November, but the worst months, as historically, I'm talking about historically for hurricanes in Myrtle Beach, are August and September, with September being the highest occurrence of hurricanes here at Myrtle Beach. I'm not speaking in generalities, I'm speaking specifically for Myrtle Beach. And what does that mean for you? Big thing is check your hotel cancellation policies. Some of them do not give you a refund if there is a mandatory evacuation for a hurricane. So check that fine print, definitely find out what they do if it's a act of nature or whatever they call it. Definitely see what their policy is for that. So that's our tip from us to you. Many years ago, before we lived here, we got burned by that. So something to keep in mind. Also though, the weather becomes, I've had so many people recently say, hey, I'm coming next week and it looks like it's gonna rain every day. What should I do? The weather here this time of the year, so we started out in the sun, now there's already a cloud over the sun. That is pretty typical for this time of the year. It is incredibly hot, and because of the heat and humidity, it's also incredibly humid. The heat builds up, and so you'll start building these clouds, and then by the afternoon, this is in the morning when this is filmed, by the afternoon we'll have full cloud cover, and then by the evening you'll get a thunderstorm. And so that's a pretty standard pattern. So yes, you'll see the weather say that it's going to rain every day, but that does not mean it is going to rain all day. It means you might get, like yesterday, I think it rained for an hour and it was in the evening. That's pretty standard for here for the weather. So if you, for your future planning, if you want to plan for next year to come when there's not as much chance of a thunderstorm, I would recommend June if you have to come in the summer. Obviously, there's months in the off season that have even less rain, but August and September do have the highest rainfall. Just keep in mind that unless there's a tropical storm or a front stalls over Myrtle Beach, it typically will not be all day rain. Can it happen? Absolutely. But is it typical for this time of the year? No. It's more like this weather that I'm describing right now. That's pretty standard. But this is one of the months you definitely want to keep the weather in mind because it is so variable. It's one of those things we always say the weather can change in 5 minutes, and it absolutely does. So let's talk about events. And right before we get to that, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like. That will actually help other people find our videos. So we really, really appreciate that. Also, if you want to learn more about Myrtle Beach or you just enjoy these videos, definitely click on that subscribe button so that you won't miss anything new, because we put out Myrtle Beach videos on a regular basis, and that is what we focus on. Now that we're getting up, we were in the boardwalk area, now we're getting up to the hotel area. So there are just so many people now. It's funny how it changes as soon as you get over to the hotels. And like I said, this is in the morning. This is a little after 9 a.m. So this is not what it's going to look like later in the day. This is what it looks like, you know, early in the morning. Well, I don't know if I call it early, but you know, mid-morning. And well, it's early for a beach day. Most people don't come out at the crack of dawn to the beach. So let's talk about events. There are actually quite a few events in the month of August. The first one up is Brews Blues and BBQ at the House of Blues, Saturday, August 15th, starting at 5 p.m. And it includes craft beer and barbecue sampling and free live music. Definitely call them or check their website for more details on the pricing and everything. But if you're not familiar with the House of Blues here, it is located at Barefoot Landing, and that is just barely into North Myrtle Beach. It's very, very close to Myrtle Beach proper. You're just barely gone over the border into North Myrtle Beach. Also, we have South Carolina's largest garage sale. That is Saturday, August 22nd from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. It's free to attend, but you do have to pay $5 for parking. Also, there are ongoing Pelicans games. That is our local baseball team. And they do have special events for certain games in the month of August. So check their website for details on that if you'd like to check out a Pelican game. We definitely recommend them. We've been, and they are a lot of fun. Brook Green Gardens has summer light art by night on Wednesdays and Saturdays through August 26th. And so that's from now through August 26th. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. and the tickets are $25 for an adult and $15 for a child. If you're not familiar with Brook Green Gardens, it is located in Murrells Inlet, which is just south of Myrtle Beach. It is a beautiful botanical garden. It used to be on a plantation, so they have historical information about that. They have rice, still, you know, defunct rice paddies and areas of the plantation, as well as a low country zoo that is great for families. So there's a lot to do there. Even if you don't go to the summer art by night and lights, you can also just go during the day and enjoy it. And when you buy a ticket there, not for the special summer lights by night, but for the regular Brook Green Gardens, it's good for 7 days, so you can go there multiple times during your trip. Next up is Broadway at the Beach. They have summer nights until August 25th, so from now until August 25th. That includes some entertainment, like roaming entertainment, like fire throwers and sometimes singers and other entertainment. And then they also have occasional fireworks on select night. It's not every night, so definitely check their website for details. Broadway at the Beach is a large entertainment, dining, and shopping area. It's about a mile inland from the beach. Also, they have the Barefoot Landing, which is actually owned by the same company that owns Broadway at the Beach. So it's a similar situation. Again, a big entertainment, dining, and shopping area. They have their own version of that called Summerfest. Same exact idea for entertainment, music, you know, fire throwers, other entertainment, stilt walkers, that kind of thing, and fireworks on select nights. Also, I want to mention, in case you missed it in our videos, we've actually put this out recently. I took a ride on the Myrtle Beach Entertainment Shuttle. It is a free shuttle, you heard me, free, that will drive you around Ocean Boulevard, which is right over here. It stops multiple times on Ocean Boulevard. And so at most of the hotels, you'll have a stop nearby if you're staying here in the main hotel row on Ocean Boulevard. And then it stops at a ton of entertainment and attractions. And then including Broadway at the Beach and the Pelican Stadium and the Convention Center, several of the things I've mentioned in this video. And then it brings you back. Or if you're staying inland and you want to use it to come to the beach and the boardwalk, you can do that as well. So I wanted to mention that. Again, if you want to find anything on our channel, just search Carmen and Brian Myrtle Beach and then put in that case, free entertainment shuttle, and it will come up and you can check out that video and all the details, and we show you a map of where it goes, and we talk about when it runs and all of that in that video. If you'd like to learn more about Myrtle Beach, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.